Safari Jeffries here. A3C interview with our New Orleans circuit tour winner, Lyriqs Da Lyraciss. Lyriq, what is popping with you?
Doing pretty good at the moment, man. Just kind of, hanging out. Took the month of June off for the most part to sit back and plan, working on some tours at the moment, just working on some new content and stuff.
So now the whole Underdog Central movement. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, Underdog Central is really like a record label. I do have artists under me that I work with, but it's not a record label. It's not necessarily like a conglomerate of any sort. It's really a mantra that I live by. It stands for Underdog Central is the place where the overlooked go to hone their skills to come back and be the admired. And pretty much explains my career pretty much from the street. I was a guy that when I initially came out, a lot of people didn't really respect because I was always in something a little different. From the way I dressed to the music that I made, the people that I listened to. And after about 3.5 years, 4 years of grinding and putting in some work, in my 5th year and doing it, I think I'm to a point where people respect what I do. They kind of look to me to set some, I don't want to say trends, but to kind of lead the way. Whenever I do something innovative, I always notice people kind of follow behind me and do it. So that's pretty much what that means.
Tell me a little bit about your music selection. I noticed in a lot of your videos that you choose a lot of older songs when you do freestyles for mixtapes and things of that nature. Where do you get your range of musical taste from?
I mean, that's a little hard. And it's very, very regular for someone to say I listen to everything. So I'll just say that my music is vast. I'll go from MG&T to Lupe Fiasco to, Fits in the Tantrums, all the way to, Maroon 5. Like, I try to, all the way to like Bobby Womack. I try to keep my music, at least my ear. To be real with you, I only listen to maybe 5 rappers. And those 5 rappers are from the 2009 XXL cover. And my hip-hop knowledge, as of current, very, very slim. You know what I mean? I really don't listen to anything from past the year 2010 in essence, with the exception of a few things. But when it comes to music, man, I try to, my phone, I have a Droid, my music library, it's I have music from people like a Dave Mason to like an artist from the 70s to Ace, to the band from the 70s. I listen to like David Bowie, and again in hip hop, I listen to Lupe Fiasco, Charles Hamilton, my favorite rapper. Lupe Fiasco, Charles Hamilton, MF Doom, Mickey Fax, Asher Raw, people like that. People that just literally do their own thing. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I kind of draw inspiration from. That's the kind of selection that I pick from.
Now, okay. From the looks of things, you appear to be a pretty young guy.
Yeah, 22, yeah.
22. So David Bowie, in his heyday, was like the 80s.
Yeah.
You weren't really even around back then.
I wasn't even a thought at that moment. I wasn't even a thought.
So we know about the New Orleans music scene, right? The whole New Orleans bounce thing. You got the whole Cash Money thing. The Lil Wayne. How difficult has it been for you to get people to break out of that mindset of that being the only sounds that come from New Orleans?
It's weird, man. I kind of deal with it and I kind of don't. I only deal with it when I go to, I performed in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh about a year ago. And when I went there, in Pittsburgh, they knew I was from New Orleans, so I couldn't really, because what I like to do is, not really in the South, because in the South it's kind of, everyone knows about the movement, so knowing about New Orleans history. So they don't exactly think that I'm going to come out the gate, with the, you heard with the whoop, they don't think I'm going to come out like rapping like BG or anything. But they do have this somewhat preconceived notion of what I'm going to rap about. So when I go to like places like Philly, they didn't know where I was from. The show that I put pretty much 3 hours before we got there, we get on stage and, I do my thing. They're like, oh, man, where you from, homie? And I'm like, I'm from New Orleans. And they're like, what? You're from the South? Oh, man, you actually can talk. And, it's like, what the hell are you thinking? Like, you know what I mean? So, that's the preconceived notion. I deal with it and I don't. Obviously, I go somewhere like Mobile, Alabama, or like Pensacola, Florida. They don't necessarily, they think, but then sort of open my mouth, that goes away. But I only really get that kind of, I want to say prejudice, but that kind of preconceived notion. When I go north, like in Denver. Denver was a place where I had to prove myself. Philly, Pittsburgh was a place I had to prove myself. You know what I mean? So those are places where I get that preconceived notion.
I noticed that you have a mixtape with Mickey Fax.
It's my album, actually.
Right.
Album.
Oh, okay.
Project Mickey Fax hosted.
Okay. Oh, now how did that come about?
I think in 09, 2010, when Mickey was like really at the height of his career, he came down a few times. He actually loves New Orleans a lot. Like, he performed here at least 9 times. And the first 3 times he performed, maybe the third time is when I opened up for him back in 2000, and I believe that was 10. And from there, like, he covered with my favorite rapper, Charles Hamilton, so it's kind of like, he's dope by default, you know what I mean? And then I listened to his music, the dude was on some complete other stuff that no other MC was really on at the time. So he was a trendsetter in his own way, so I just always followed his career. He's one of my favorite rappers. And then fast forward maybe a couple of years, I started to raise my profile a little bit. I started to get a little more money in my pocket. So I brought him down in 2012. I brought him down. He was on tour. I brought him down, and he rocked. I opened for him. It was a great situation. We exchanged information. You know what I mean? Fast forward a year, 2013, I was featured on interview.com. And from there, I hit up these people like, yo, man, we doing some things. I would like to get, to collab with Mickey in some form. And I really didn't want a verse because I feel like everyone wants a verse with Mickey. I was like, let me switch it up and get the hosted project. So it was like, yo, this is my debut album, but it's like my second album, my second real project with all complete original music that I'm really going to tour with. So I kind of wanted to be a big deal. So I sent him the record, sent him a couple of joints from the record. You know what I'm saying? He did it. It was dope. I brought him down again this past January 2014. 2013, we went on a minor tour with each other. We did New Orleans band, Alabama together. Mm-hmm. And then from there, came back again. I brought him down this past January. Show sold out. It was a great turnout. And we just really been building ever since, man. And he's a real good guy. And it's good to see him back on his thing, really trying to push again. And, he's a good guy, and I appreciate what he did for my career because out here in New Orleans, Loyola University of New Orleans, I was featured in the college magazine, the newspaper, and they hit him up for a quote, and he gave them a quote about me saying, lyrics to candidates need to understand his own potential, and something like that just means the world to me, you know what I mean? To go from a cat that admired a guy to a cat that's maybe not equal, but of the same kind of hustle and grind, and somewhat of an equal to the guy. So that means a lot, and I just really appreciate it.
Now you went to Loyola.
Loyola, yeah. Loyola University in New Orleans.
Yeah, Loyola. You went to Loyola. That name, it just gets me all the time. Okay, so what was your major?
Music industry studies. Yes, sir.
Did you finish that degree out?
No, I didn't. Things happen, I'll say, and wasn't able to finish it.
Good thing is that you're definitely in the game.
Yeah, man. I will say that getting that degree, I should say going to that school, I was exposed to so many different things, man. Like, for example, working with G-Eazy. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he is killing the country right now. He's put out his album. I think he was #1 on iTunes. Like, the kid is just retarded. He's selling out arenas everywhere he goes. So it's really cool to see him grow from the kid that dropped the Epidemic, which is his first album that probably sold 100 records. Right. Seeing him doing 100-city tours now overseas. Wow. So, in my time at Loyola, I was able to collab with him. We did a song called My Style, which to this day, we did it in 2011, and it's still getting hits. I have like 15,000 plays on that video on YouTube, and it's one of my most bought songs on iTunes and things of that nature. So, and he, I text him every other day, like, yo, what's going on? That was good. Congrats on all the success and things of that nature. So Loyola did pretty well for me. And also I met a lot of rappers that I actually keep tabs on today, keep in contact with, like my man Mastermind from St. Louis. MME, that's my big homie. I should say it's my little homie. It's my big homie because he's older than me. But I went up there to St. Louis this past April. I think it was May, I'm sorry. And went up there with him, and I was introduced to like Black Spade and my man Tef Poe, all through that connection with that guy. So Loyola did well for me, man. I wish I could have finished my degree, but I don't really regret anything at the moment. I'm doing pretty well.
So, Dream As If You Live Forever. How did the concept of the album come about?
Well, if you want to go just name first of all, the name is the second half of the James Dean quote. Dream as if you live, well, it's the first half. Dream as if you live forever, live as if you die tomorrow.
Wow.
And I didn't really like the live as if you die tomorrow kind of thing.
Right.
But I like dream as if you live forever. And I always felt that in the event, because I've been dealing with a lot of personal family death lately, friends and my oldest brother just passed away and things of this nature. So, this album's from a year ago, and I sent it to him, and he loved the album. But the way that I felt was in the event of an early demise, that's something that I would want you to remember by, that album. From the emotion to the beats on it, the lyrics. I'm talking about a couple real things. I'm also having a lot of fun on that record. The beats at this point is one of the best produced projects I've put out. My first album, Nobody's Monologues 2, was great, no doubt, and it had like the G-Eazy feature, and it had my man DJ on there, and it had my man Impulse. But this record, it just means so much to me because it was my first record that I really toured with. I've been pushing the album since July 17th, which was my birthday, 2013. Excuse me, since then I've probably done 60 shows promoting that, you know what I'm saying, in different parts of the country, just promoting that product. And it's my best-selling product. It's digitally and physically. You know what I mean? So it just means the world to me. And it's hosted by one of my favorite rock mods. This is the first time I did a major collab with somebody. So it was a big deal. And my mom loves the record, and that pretty much sums it up.
oh yeah, mom gotta love it.
Mom gotta love it, man. She bumps it every day.
Yeah, you can't really do too much if mom doesn't like it.
Exactly. I couldn't even put it out. My mom didn't like it.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tell us about your fascination with the color pink.
Oh man, well it's a couple things. One, I had a cousin, Shoutout Johnson, who passed away from breast cancer in 2001. So there's always been pink has always been, that. Second, my favorite rapper is Charles Hamilton. If you go back in his history, pink is the color of life and blah blah. And just it's a dope color. Blue is my favorite color though. Pink is just a color that when a grown ass man wears it, it always catches eyes. Like, oh my God, he's secure in his sexuality. Which is pretty much for me the same as if I wore yellow. Like, it's just a color, like I don't really get it. But I had a cousin that passed away from breast cancer, and I was pink breast cancer. So that's something I always do whenever her birthday pops up. August 9th, I always try to, wear some pink around the summertime, really. Just to, obviously October and things of that nature. But just try to wear some pink just to keep her in memory,
Tell me about what you think the importance of the A3C is to the culture.
For me, I did A3C last year. I did the Kevin Nottingham showcase. Right. KevinNottingham.com. Yeah. And I opened for G1 and Street Universal, Cannibal Locks, Locksmith. And I'll tell you, man, that was my first major festival. And though the crowd was probably like 100 deep, it was one of the greatest experience so far of my life on stage. You know what I mean? And it was my first time ever in Atlanta. And my man Marcel P. Black, who helped me get on the showcase in the first place. For him, it was that moment. So it means a lot to me. I think for the culture, it is something specifically for hip hop. We got Jazz Fest, we got Bonnaroo, we got all these different festivals, but nothing like A3C because it's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And this is hip hop artists from every part of the country coming down, even overseas in some cases, coming down for 1 week to just rock out, just collab and network, and you know what I'm saying, do dope showcases, and at any given moment you could be rhyming in front of the cat that could change your life or whatever if you believe in that thing. So I think, you know what I'm saying, ATC is very, very important, and I'm just excited to be a part of it again. That's why, when I was entered into when I registered for the contest, I was like, yeah, I gotta win this because I want to do it another year. I want to be on another official showcase. You know what I mean? I want to just show what I can do. And it gives you that kind of drive. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a lot of inspiration to hold it down in another city on a big stage. So I just, I thank A3C for that out.
So, of course, 10-year anniversary, A3C, Lyriqs Da Lyraciss. You're gonna be in the building. What should we look out for coming up this year in October?
I'm probably gonna wear some crazy ass kicks. That's first of all. I'm gonna have some dope music on deck. You know what I'm saying? And seeing some of the guys who have won the contest and doing some research. I'm glad to bring my A game. You know what I mean? And I do that well. So just watch out for a great live show. Watch out for the fly ass kicks I'm gonna have on. And good music. You know what I'm saying? Great. Just overall great live show, man. I think whoever else is on the showcase got to bring the A game too. You know what I mean? I'm coming to, as my man Marcel would say, I'm coming to get work. So, if anybody is unemployed in that venue, they'll all have jobs at the end of the night. You know what I mean?
I saw the showcase from last year, and you definitely do bring a live show.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I'm definitely going to look forward to seeing you again, this year. This is going to be pretty good.
Indeed, man. I would hope that every year I get better. You know what I'm saying? And not to dwell too much, not to go too long on it, but my man Street Universal is my OG. That's the cat that put me on my first show. And having someone as legendary as him as a mentor, you just gotta bring the A game, and that's coming from out the gate. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm under the tutelage of cats like him and Lyric Hill. You know what I'm saying? And people that in the New Orleans scene and respect. So you come out the gate with mentors like that. If you don't do well, you're gonna get pushed to the wayside. So everywhere I go, I try to set a great example, whether I go first or last or in the middle, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, like no matter what order the show is, however long I have on stage, you gotta leave wanting more, you know what I'm saying, bring that professionalism. I'm an artist, you know what I'm saying, I want cats to take me serious, so I have to keep doing that serious, so just working, man, just keep grinding, and, you know, putting in a lot of work, so, you know, again, thanks to A3C for the opportunity, man, I can't wait to perform.
Lyric, let me ask you this. Which would you choose? A label deal or remain independent?
I kind of have a love for the indie hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, doing everything out of pocket, doing everything yourself. I have management, but as far as it goes, so it's kind of the indie hustle, man. You kind of get addicted to it. You know, being the person that books the shows, having a person answer emails, but being the person that actually books the shows, going out, networking, and seeing things come to fruition from a first person view. There's nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see a lot of cats that rhyme, but it isn't really, you know, they just rap and they don't really do anything on the back end. So that business part is what keeps me addicted to hip hop, because rapping on stage is fun, but actually emailing somebody, getting the email back, having the conversation, negotiation, get everything settled, then getting to the show and rocking, something like that. But at the same token, to have that machine behind you would be probably the greatest thing ever. And then even if you pull a jib to get two singles that, you know, that were popular, and you fall off, you still be an indie artist, but you still have a name that people recognize. So, you know, you can always, but for me, man, I think I might have to go indie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have an opportunity that just arose to talk to some people about some things. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, I'm 22 years old. I have a, you know, if everything goes the way it should, I have a lot of life ahead of me. So I think, you know, you stay indie, man. Let's see how that works out. I think I'm doing pretty well as an the independent artist. So, you know, probably have to get indie though.
Hey, you're already getting shows. You might as well continue to stay indie.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, and I'm taking home the paper. So it's like, why? You know?
Why share it when you don't have to?
Exactly. You know, I share with my DJ, but he's not my label head. So
right.
So yeah, you're right, man. For real.
What's coming up on the horizon? What should the fans look for?
Well, I've been still putting out that, still promoting that day looking to host by Biggie Facts. So you can go get that at www.underdogcentral.net. It's the website. Right now, man, I'm working on my first Canadian show. I'll be out the country for the first time, so that's gonna be dope. My man Fresh Kills, word up to him. I'm working on currently 3 tours right now for August, September, and October. You know, so if anybody just wants to kind of know where I'm at, what to do with me, how to get in contact with me, you know what I'm saying, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, just search Underdog Central, exactly spell that one word, you know what I mean? Just look out for this new album. My man Caesar from Crescent King Production, he actually produced the Ridiculous title track, the Have You Ever Dreamed, that joint. He produced that record, so we're doing a whole album together. Working on that, so look out for that. You know what I'm saying? The new album's gonna have features from like Bigger Rams, gonna have features from Mickey Facts. You know what I'm saying? Features from my man Pell, who's doing the damn thing right now. So, you know, people like that, and just keep looking out for just great content. You know what I'm saying? Good music, good live shows. When coming to your city, come out to that. But just visit that website to kind of keep abreast with me, which is underdogcentral.net. So that's the best way. Keep in contact with me, and that's a good way to figure out what's on the horizon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Safari M. Jeffries, Lyriqs Da Lyraciss, our New Orleans circuit tour winner. My friend, I look forward to seeing you in October.
You did.
Your birthday is coming up.
Yes, sir. July 17th, 23 years old, man.
Right around the corner. Do not party too much.
I don't drink or smoke, so I probably do a bunch of push-ups and play games.
Right, and drink some pineapple juice. You know.
Indeed, yeah. Get turned up on pineapple juice.
Exactly. I'm the same way. I don't drink either, but I will party a little. It definitely was a pleasure. Again, you know, I tell everybody I interview, I tell them, I say, hey, when you come to Atlanta again, you got a homeboy in the neighborhood. We'll go to the West Side, hang out. Feel free to send me some music. You know, because I like exclusive stuff, and you got some really nice stuff.
What I'll do is I'll email you a couple of tracks, if not from the album, just the joints that I'm working on. Once it's done, I'm going to send you a couple of my singles, man. You know, check that out. If you don't mind, I'll add you to my email list, man.
Please do. Look, I am a connoisseur of good music, and you definitely have good music.
Indeed, I appreciate that. I started this thing called Underdog Central Email Mondays. Every Monday I put out a record, and it's something from the vault that I have somewhere, just, you know what I mean? So music from 2010, 11, 12, and 13. So you'll be on that list. You're in North Carolina, right?
Well, I'm from North Carolina, but you know I live in Atlanta now. So.
All right, cool. I'll put you on the Atlanta list. So yeah, man, I'll put you on that list ASAP, man. You can some of that good music.
All day. Anything else you want us to know?
Nah, man. Again, appreciate A3C for the opportunity. Thank you for interviewing me. I just look forward to being in Atlanta.